Welcome back to our New Zealand series, where every week we pack up our Land Rover Discovery and we take you on an adventure somewhere new in New Zealand. This week we're actually going on a family vacation, so we're gonna have a little off-camera time. But first, we want to show you some of our favorite stops on the way from Queenstown to Lake Tekapo. There are some stunning stops, views, and hikes along the way, so what are we waiting for? Let's go. Well, what a gloomy day. I honestly think that our entire itinerary this week looks a little bit gray. Feels like it's starting to become that time of year. It's not really summer anymore, and I'm a little bit in denial about that. Hence why we're still on the road car camping through the South Island. This week we're going to Lake Tekapo. We're actually convoying with my best friend Jess and her boyfriend Blake, who you met in our Wanaka video. Nick and I are driving up there alone though. Our first stop of the day is going to be Cromwell. It's about an hour from Queenstown. You know, when there's no sunshine out, be your own sunshine. Some guy just jumped off. Woo! It's always fun to drive past here because it's the bungee jump. It's like a huge thing to do here in Queenstown. We haven't done it. I'm really not a bungee jump kind of gal, okay? It's just really not me. I would do skydiving before I would do bungee jumping.
Whereas I'm the complete opposite. I definitely love like thrill seeking and adrenaline stuff, hence why I downhill skateboard. It's just putting my trust in somebody else's packing of the parachute. Just like to have even just like a small amount of control over it, and then I'm like much more comfortable. One of the first stops on the way to Lake Tekapo is the Roaring Meg. It's a beautiful lookout of this very turbulent stream behind me. The way that the Roaring Meg got its name was from two diggers who were accompanying two women from a dancing saloon. And as they crossed the stream, the one girl was putting up a lot of fuss about it, so they named this part after her, the Roaring Meg. The other girl, however, was very silent, and they named another stream up the way after her called Gentle Annie. Poor Meg.
Meg was done dirty.
Anyways, back on the road.
So Cromwell is the biggest town that you pass through for a little while, I mean, until you get further out to a whole different part of New Zealand when you're coming from Queenstown. Cromwell has a historic precinct and all this history, like it's a really cool stop to walk through. I mean, you could actually just like spend an entire afternoon in Cromwell, and then just a little bit past Cromwell in Bendigo, there is a full-blown ghost town. We actually did go visit this ghost town last time we were in this area, and it was really cool. It was one of the most informative ghost towns that I've ever personally been to. The thing is the last time that we were in this area, if you've been following along with our journey, we lost all of our footage from that trip. It was the same trip that we went to St. Bathan's Domain, which is another ghost town. We lost all of our footage from that trip because we were having audio issues.
If you are at all interested in seeing Cromwell and Bendigo and this kind of area again, just let us know in the comments, and maybe we could come back and do like an entire dedicated video to this place, because it does seem like there's a lot of very cool history here.
So driving through Lindis Pass is absolutely beautiful, like the rolling hills, just the greenery. Even on a gloomy kind of day like this, it's just, the views are so stunning. A stop that you can make is the Lindis Pass lookout point, which is where we're at right now. It's just a roadside stop, and obviously the views from here are absolutely stunning. But if you wanted to get more of a view, there are two hikes. I think that there are two hikes from here as well. So really depends how much time you have. We are trying to get to Tekapo pretty soon. It's already kind of the early afternoon, but it really is worth a stop if you have the time. How many times am I gonna change my hair in this video? Let's count. Now we're passing through the town of Omarama. Nope, that's not how you pronounce that. So we made a very common mistake, and we actually learned on our trip that the pronunciation of this town is Omarama. So let that be a lesson for us all. And there is a really cool roadside stop here. Let me show you.
We're walking up to the entrance of the clay cliffs right now, and it looks insane. Like, even just seeing these, said it kind of looks like Moab, like the Moab National Park in the US, except for there's less skinwalkers, which is cool. You can tell like water's kind of come down here, so it's very, very slippery with all the like loose gravel. So I think this might be as far as we go.
It's just a short walk up to the clay cliffs, like maybe 10 minutes. Absolutely beautiful. It was actually so hard to get a booking in the area this week. There was some kind of like event on, salmon and wine or something. So we decided to stay in the town of Twizel, which is the largest town in the Mackenzie district, but has a population of about only 1,600 people.
So we're not entirely sure why, but Twizel is super busy tonight. So we booked this holiday park, which is a little ways away from our friends. And for some reason, it's like McDonald's themed. No idea why. You got the Hamburglar with swings coming off his arms. And I don't think that little wizard guy in the back has anything to do with McDonald's, but it's the only place available. It looks like a nice place. It's just weird that there's like McDonald's camp. Of course, we're grateful that we had somewhere to stay, and we're just teasing.
In the past 3.5 years of doing van life and car camping in 5 countries now, we have slept at many questionable campsites, on roadsides, and at rest stops.
We have traveled on sleeper buses, planes, trains, and an essential item that every traveler needs is earplugs.
These noise-canceling earplugs from Bet Slumber provide hearing protection with a noise reduction rating of 19 decibels, and they are so comfortable to wear because they have different ear tip sizes for the perfect fit. They're available in small, medium, large, and XL, offering 4 sizes to ensure the perfect fit for effective ear protection.
Honestly, when our lives are so busy and chaotic and we're constantly changing environments, being comfortable and getting a good sleep is our #1 priority.
And it should be yours too, so thank you so much to Bet Slumber for sponsoring this video. And guys, be sure to check them out. Oh my god, we're really having gloomy weather though. I do hope it clears up a little bit today because these lakes and these mountains and everything really illuminate when the sun comes out. It's still so beautiful though.
Today we are doing the Benmore Peninsula hike, and it's about 45 minutes up and 45 minutes back. So let's do it.
So the hike is fairly easy. There are some pretty steep bits, but because it's short, it's manageable for sure. This hike is really interesting because when you start walking it, there's no trees. And then by the end of it, you're kind of like in a little forest here, but it's nice to get that little bit of shade at the top. And look at this view. Oh, the water is like glistening. It's so beautiful. We have just pulled up on beautiful Lake Pukaki, and Nick is, of course, I'll let you say it, considering getting in the water, but it's glacier fed, so it's a little bit crazy. God, it's pretty here.
Mt.Cook is gorgeous. Now let's get into this ice cold water.
Well, you got the girls going in now.
Though. This is paradise.
So this actually wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be. It's definitely warmer than Lake Alta, which is another glacier-fed lake that we swam in the last video. Plus the views are absolutely insane with Mt.Cook in the background. And it really wasn't that bad because even Rachel got in. Usually this lake is like way more blue, like topaz blue, like bright blue. But I think because it's really cloudy, it's just less blue today. I think honestly it's just like the reflection from the sky. But normally as you're driving by, it's like bright blue. This morning we are heading towards Mt.Cook to walk the Hooker Valley track. Of course, behind me, that big snowy mountain is Mt.Cook. The drive there has been absolutely gorgeous so far, even though we've only driven down the road for like 2 minutes. We just stopped over at this scenic lookout here to take this all in because this is insane. This is so beautiful. And I'm very excited to check out this track because apparently the views are immaculate.
These views are absolutely stunning. I'm like, oh my god, do we even have to do the hike? Like, I am seeing everything I need to see right here. It's such a clear day. You know what? It's funny because yesterday we were actually going to do this hike and we didn't because of the low visibility, and I'm really glad that we held out for one more day. We weren't sure what today was going to look like. We're in Mt.Cook National Park and wow, yeah, this country never ceases to amaze me. Everywhere is just so different. So beautiful. There are all these suspension bridge crossings on this trail. So if you don't like suspension bridges, you may not like this trail. But personally, I don't even really know how I feel about them. I feel kind of freaked out on these things. And holding my camera out isn't helping right now. Feels like it's just gonna fly off the bridge. So today we are on the Hooker Valley track. It's a 3-hour walk. It is a little bit more of a hike than we thought it was gonna be. We heard that it was mostly flat, which it is. Pretty easy, it's just long. But the views are just spectacular the entire way.
Behind me, you can obviously see Mount Cook in all of its glory, and this super pretty little river that runs through. And all of these pools, which it looks like you could swim in, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing anyone doing it, so. It's a lot of gravel pathways, some stairs, a few suspension bridges. Be prepared for that.
It kind of looks like what I'm imagining South America is gonna look like when we go to Chile or like Patagonia. It is so pretty. There are loads of people on this hike though. Like, be warned, this is probably the busiest kind of trek that we've done.
Blake and I were trying to figure it out, but somewhere up behind me here on this little ridge is like a little orange dot, and apparently that is a hut where people can stay. To it, we were trying to find like the trail that would lead up to it, and we can't really see one, and it looks pretty extreme to try and get there. But if you know anything about the hut, let us know in the comments.
After a few days of hiking, stargazing, drinking beer, and playing a lot of pool, we stopped back in the town of Omarama, now that we actually know how to pronounce it. God, actually, we're probably still saying it wrong. We are probably still saying it wrong. And we made a booking at a very special place that we have been dying to go to. We have finally made it to Hot Tubs Omarama. I've wanted to come here for so long. You have no idea. I've wanted to come here since we tried out the onsen hot pools back in Queenstown. And last time that we were driving this way when we were going to Christchurch, we actually didn't make it. And I'm so excited. I was a little bit worried it's gonna be too hot today, but the weather is very like windy. It's actually a bit cool. So let's go for a little soak. So these hot tubs are totally private, so much so that you're actually kind of like, behind me is the front desk. You follow your site number and you walk down this path, and around this corner and through the bushes is our stunning, very cool hot tub.
And I got this hazy IPA, which is, I think, the best hazy IPA I've ever had. And I usually go for hazy IPAs because they're kind of like wine. You only really need like one of them. You sip on it, it's nice, and then you're good to go. It's the hashtag fake news IPA. It's a Kiwi-owned local beer. Usually most places that we go, I like to try the local option, whether it be food or drink or whatever. So I am stoked to be able to try this Burke's Brewing Co. hazy IPA.
The bookings for these hot tubs are 90 minutes long. They are fire fed and just absolutely so serene. 10 out of 10 experience. Thank you for watching this video. We know it was a little different than the rest of our videos, but we're still so grateful that you came on this road trip with us. We really hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week with a new video.